Welcome back everybody once again to Luke Zach Football, and before we get into today's video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into today's video, and this will be the final power rankings that I do for the 2022 USFL season. Obviously, I did this for NFL this past season. After the second to last week, it's my final power rankings because I don't like doing power rankings after the final week of a regular season because it just seems like there's no point because it's the playoffs. We have the playoff bracket. We already know who's in, who's out, and there really doesn't just seem to be a point. I prefer to just do predictions. So this will be the final power rankings. I will do a predictions video for the entire playoffs, unlike what I did for the NFL last season, after next week's slate of games. And then after that, I will make a reaction to the playoffs once the playoffs are over. But let's get into this video, the power rankings, the final power rankings. So coming in at number 8, I got the Pittsburgh Maulers, who have officially held the spot of the worst team the whole season for me, at least now up until the final week. They do play the Panthers next week. I would say the loser of that game is the worst, so they have an opportunity to avoid being that worst team, but they probably won't do it as the Panthers blew them out last time they played. Coming in at number 7, the Panthers. They gave a very tough game to the Generals, had an opportunity to win it. They came up short though, and that's kind of been indicative of their whole season. Coming in at number 6, I got the Gamblers, who got a major upset win over the Birmingham Stallions, ruining their undefeated season. It looked like the Stallions had a real shot of hitting 10-0, and they were due for a loss. They had been winning a lot of tight games that they easily could have lost. The Breakers finally beat them in a low-scoring defensive battle. Coming in at number 5, I got the Bandits, who lost yesterday, clinched themselves out of the playoffs. Just an overall rough game yesterday, getting dominated 17-6. Their offense is just completely done, and it's just been an up and down season for this team, and they're not going to make the playoffs after a promising start. Coming in at number 4, I have the Breakers falling down. Now look, I know the Breakers and the Stars both have the same record, and the Breakers beat them, but they beat them all the way back in week 1 in a tight game. I think as of late, the Stars have been playing a lot better than the Breakers have. I get the Breakers won yesterday, but I feel that was just one of the more sloppy games ever. I mean, the Bandits in a way almost outplayed them. The Bandits had, way more, two more turnovers than them, and the Bandits had over 10 penalties throughout the whole game. The Bandits beat themselves. The Breakers were keeping them in that game, while the Stars, I know they struggled with the Marlers yesterday. They beat them by a point, but the Stars were playing their backups for most of the game because they already have the playoffs guaranteed. So that's why I have the Breakers at 4. They just look very sloppy. Kyle Sloter just does not seem, he in sync with himself. He has more interceptions than touchdown passes this season. And then coming in at number 3, the Stars, who have hit their stride now late in this season. They're starting to play really well on defense. Their offense, with Case Cookus at quarterback, is very efficient. So the Stars, look out. I've been saying it since early in the year that the Stars are a team to look out for. They just seem like one of those dark horse teams, and there was an announcer who even, kind of agreed with that, and he said they're going to win it all. I don't know if they're going to win it all. I think they definitely have a shot at it, though. And then coming in at number 2, the Stallions, who finally got a loss. The Stallions, it's just their offensive line is terrible. Jamar Smith has no time to throw. Their defense is what, keeps them in games, really, over the last few weeks at least. But their offense is just completely just dead. I mean, it's just not good. And then coming in at number 1, I have the Generals once again, who are the hottest team in the USFL. They've won 8 straight games following their week 1 loss to the Stallions. The Generals, I think, are right now the favorite to win it all. I really believe that. It's close between them and the Stallions. I believe the betting odds, as in yesterday, was the Stallions are the favorite to win it, then the Generals, then the Stars. But I think it's the Generals, in my opinion. Now, an interesting thing is the Generals and Stars play this upcoming week in the final game of the regular season, but then they play again the following week in the playoffs. So they play each other back-to-back weeks. They've already played earlier in the year. The Generals obviously won that one. But I would think that these two teams won't be going that much at it this upcoming week. I think they're probably going to be playing a lot of the backups throughout most of the game. And to add to this, it would really not be smart to do your game plan against this team. You should really just you should do a game plan that isn't your game plan to win. Yeah, you're trying to win, but do a game plan and a scheme that you're not planning to use that you think will succeed against them. Save that for the playoff game, because if you do that in this game, they're going to see that on film, and then the following week they're going to be ready for it. So I would expect both of these teams to kind of, play a little bit take their foot off the gas in this upcoming game. But comment down below what you guys think about all this. Things are heating up, and I'm excited to see how this all plays out. The Generals, Stallions, Stars, and Breakers are all the clinch teams in the playoffs, and honestly, I think any of the four of them can win it all. Comment down below what you guys think though, and other than that, I'll see you guys next time.